This is the back of the Duomo, and you have to go up through there to get to the front. So this is the very famous Dome of Siena, the Duomo. And this is the square in front of it. This is the main entrance, and you can buy the ticket over there. There's also a bookshop and a cafe and a museum. This is the famous Dome of Siena. It's actually, I've been here once before, 5 years ago, but they were still doing renovations at the time. And then I knew I wanted to come back and see the results. And, well, it sure is something. I think it's one of the most beautiful domes in all of Italy. Because the one in Florence is very impressive from the outside, but it's totally blank on the inside. Only the baptistry is worth seeing. But this one, it's absolutely gorgeous. And they have these tiles on the ground that are also beautiful. So they were actually renovating these tiles mostly at the time when I was here last. So let's take pictures.
This is the Piccolomini altar. It's on the left side of the cathedral, and it's very special because the four saints are all by Michelangelo. So you have St. Peter, St. Paul, St. Gregory, and St. Pius. This is the entrance to the Piccolomini library. Above the entrance, you see a fresco of the papal coronation of Pius III. Now, Pius III was actually the one that commissioned this library, and his original name was Cardinal Francesco Todeschini Piccolomini, and he commissioned it for the works of his uncle, Pope Pius II, who was originally Ignazio Silvio Piccolomini. Now, he was a pope that was known for being a humanist pope, and he was also a prolific author, writing many works, among those biographies as well. So the library was probably originally designed by Raphael, but as we all know, Raphael died at the age of 36. So he couldn't have done it. And otherwise, it's in my opinion, one of the best parts of the whole cathedral, because the paintings, the frescoes, the whole thing is just beautiful in there. And the frescoes are mostly about the life of Pius II, because this is his library after all. So, and it's in mint condition. It's drawn yesterday. These are the seats for the choir. So these choir seats are actually from the 16th century. However, they weren't always here. They were originally made for the Abbey of Monte Oliveto Maggiore, and they were made by Fra Giovanni da Verona, who was a priest. Now the choir seats were moved here in 1813 because an archbishop ordered them to be. So he must have seen them and went like, I want those. Usually the crowning glory of a cathedral is its main altar. However, in this case, it barely registers among the many magnificent artworks that you can see in here. It gets lost towards the back in its dark glory. However, it's beautiful with all the marble inlays and the many angel statues. You also have to go into the section that is called the Chapel of St. John the Baptist. So, suitingly, it is a baptistry chapel with a baptism font in the middle. And what you're seeing now is the magnificent statue by Donatello, which is St. John the Baptist, of course.